going on? My name is David. I'm coming at you guys with a brand new LEGO Ninjago video, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing a Ninjago episode 75 titled The Mask of Deception from Ninjago Season 8 Sons of Garmadon. As you guys probably do know already, the episodes are going to be airing weekly on Saturdays down in Australia, and so this is where this recording is from. The actual video from YouTube is going to be linked down in the description below. Of course, the quality isn't that best, but this is the only recording available at the time of the recording of this video for the episode review. So yeah, these are the images that I'm going to be using in today's video. So of course I do apologize for that, but I do want to tell you guys that I'm going to be spoiling some things in this review. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled for this episode and what goes on in this episode, then of course don't watch this review. But yeah, that pretty much concludes it. So let's get into this review. So the episode starts off with the entire Season 8 sneak peek that we got from San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm not going to be really using any images from there because those are all images that we've seen before plenty and plenty of times. We've gotten to see them all the way since August of last year, so there's really no point in me using them. And we also got a little bit of the sneak peek, extended sneak peek, with the Ninjago movie DVD release. So the first half of the episode is already seen, so primarily I'm going to be showing you guys images of the second half of the episode that we have not seen before in this video. But after the entire chase scene between Mr. E and Lloyd, we're kind of getting the entire Tournament of Elements vibe because all the ninja are coming back together again. I'm kind of having a hard time trying to see if I really do like this because they're kind of reusing ideas already that they've done before in previous seasons. Like, we've already seen the ninja split after a long period of time. For example, Zane's death way back in Rebooted, all the ninja just split and they all went their separate ways, and then Lloyd combined them back together, and you know, that's just how it was. It's pretty much the same exact thing that goes around here, and I don't really know how I necessarily feel about that, but I mean, it's just nitpicking at this point, and it doesn't really affect the plot that much, so I mean, I don't really care, but it's just something to point out. But otherwise, the ninja are reunited again. What I do have a little bit of trouble with is the backstory for all of the ninja and where they are. We don't really necessarily get any details to where the ninja were. We get all these brand new expositions to brand new locations in Ninjago, brand new characters like the Slave Master, but we don't really necessarily get to know more about them, and I'd really like to dive deeper into the Ninjago storyline as a whole, regarding all of the landmarks, all of the settings, all these other different characters. I really wish the show would kind of emphasize them a little bit more, and I do think that if they extended the season up to 3 episodes longer, like they used to do back in Season 1 and 2 with 13 episodes apiece, would really benefit a lot. But yeah, the ninja do get reunited and they meet up at Borg Tower, where Lloyd pretty much calls them all up and he informs them that the Sons of Garmadon are on the loose. And I guess it's alright. They don't really explain how Lloyd researches this, and they don't really explain how Zane knows all this information. And yeah, that pretty much is that. So there's kind of a little fault there, and I don't really know how I really feel about that. Then there's also this one part which I thought was really weird because Hutchins appears out of nowhere. And instead of questioning this, the ninja just accept it like he's some character that they all know and they all love. Yet this is the first time we ever get him in the show, and he only gets his own introduction from Lloyd around a minute later after he's introduced into that scene. No one from the ninja asks, who the heck is this guy? Because I have never seen him before in any Ninjago episode, and I'm pretty sure the ninja haven't either. And so Lloyd has to explain who he is only around a minute later, so that was a little bit awkward. I don't really know how I feel about that. But pretty much he explains that the Emperor is going to be giving this huge speech for Ninjago the next day, and he would really appreciate the ninja's presence there to, of course, guard the Emperor and the royal family, because he feels like they're in danger because of the Sons of Garmadon activity and with the Oni masks. So that pretty much is exactly what goes down. They have this entire meeting, then we get to see the royal palace for Ninjago. It's actually a pretty decent looking place. We get to see the interior later on in the episode. But overall, I do like how this entire thing is designed, and overall it's pretty pleasant to my eyes. But we do get all the ninja pretty much scouring all over the place. They're kind of like the security team, I guess. They're pretty much just trying to discover any threats and trying to prevent them, pretty much. So we have the Emperor, of course. This is the first time that we actually get to see the royal family. We have Hutchins in the back. We also have the Empress, and then the Emperor of Ninjago giving around a speech. and we have all the ninja just guarding. You know, it was a pretty decent scene. It wasn't anything too special. I do have to say though that there are a couple of instances where it does feel weird and it doesn't give you that traditional Ninjago vibe. I have noticed that a lot. You definitely shouldn't expect to go into this episode and expect to feel old Ninjago, because that is not going to happen. You're definitely getting something new here, and it's definitely something that's unique. And I'm not saying it's bad, it's actually really appreciated by me at least. And I don't really think it's something that should be really criticized that much, because the characters are indeed growing up. The only thing I have really against that is that the main argument that the creators of Ninjago and the writers of Ninjago stated for the ninja changes is that they are supposed to make the ninja older, but yet these designs look a little bit more simplistic and actually more childish. They make the ninja look younger, and from the writing that's going on in this episode, it kind of is dimmed down a little bit, and it's a little bit more childish, and you could definitely see that they did kind of step down the writing from previous seasons. I don't know if it's just gonna be for this episode, but it didn't really feel like every single line hit with me. It just really felt a little bit more childish to me. But maybe I'm growing out of it, I don't know. This is just what I feel, and of course I'm going to be expressing it in this review. But otherwise, Hutchins is a decent character, I guess. He's also introduced in this scene as well with his royal armor. But then they're invited into the royal palace, and they have a grand time, I guess. They're just greeted by the royal family. They, of course, discuss the major plots to the season, of course, being the three Oni masks and how they can never be united. But otherwise, this scene doesn't really have any significance at all. I guess it's a good exposition scene for the royal family, but otherwise, you still really don't know who they are. They do allude to some kind of mystery that, you know, we don't really know who Harumi is because she's adopted. And so she could be anyone's sibling at this point. A lot of people have been saying that she's Lloyd's sibling. Honestly, I really would not be surprised. It would be a pretty cool twist, because Lloyd is indeed affectionate towards her. You can see that from his actions in the actual episode. So I do think that it'd be kind of weird, but also kind of funny to see that she's actually like his secret sister or something like that. I have no idea, but otherwise, the ninja are pretty much just following Hutchins around, and he does have some kind of mysterious vibe to him, of course some kind of shady vibe as well, and the ninja aren't really liking it too much. But then we get to see the massive deception, and this is where I also have a little bit of an issue. This entire episode is titled The Massive Deception, but we only get around 2 seconds of screen time. I'd really like to see this episode be called The Mask of Vengeance, because the episode starts off with the Sons of Garmadon taking the Mask of Vengeance, and that's the entire point of the episode. The Sons of Garmadon strike, they cause this entire snowball effect, and the Mask of Vengeance is what's gone, and that's what we get to see the most of. We only get to see 2 little scenes with this mask, and otherwise it's going to be included in a different episode, and I feel like that title would be more fitting, The Mask of Vengeance. But yeah, anyway, we get to also see Lloyd be a creepy stalker. Also, I don't really know how I feel about this, because Lloyd is just a little bit too creepy in my opinion for like a kid's show. He's like watching Harumi in her room, like take off her makeup or whatever like that, and she's like clearly uncomfortable with that. But yeah, that was kind of awkward as well. I don't really know how I felt about watching that. And then of course we get Nia and Kai, and they're just walking around the temple, of course scouring out, and we do see Hutchins performing some kind of shady stuff. If you guys didn't see my previous video, I did state that Hutchins is probably going to be an antagonist in this season. He's probably going to be playing the role of a two-sided snake. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this guy. You can clearly get some kind of foreshadowing with this scene. And then we just get Zane talking to Cole at the end. And we do get this mystery at the end, of course, with Lloyd walking into the princess's room, of course being a stalker again, and he hears the window shatter, and he notices that she has vanished. And so, of course, we're all wondering where the princess has gone, and maybe she's been kidnapped by the Sons of Garmadon. We don't know. But overall, this episode is very mysterious, and it's not the best Ninjago premiere for a season by far. I will tell you guys, some of you might be disappointed with this episode. The first half starts out strong, I will admit that. The second half is a letdown, and I mean that with all honesty. The second half is definitely not something that I expected. The second half is something that is underwhelming when presented the first half of the episode, because the first half is action-packed. You get all this exposition. You're kind of really intrigued as to who these characters are, and you only get to see the Sons of Garmadon from that one chase scene, and you don't get to see them ever again except for that one balloon that just kind of mysteriously rises up in the air. But otherwise, I would have to rate this episode around a 6 out of 10 or maybe a 5.5 out of 10. It's definitely not the best Ninjago episode out there, and I really do hope that they step up the game for the next couple of episodes in the season. I don't have my doubts. I know that this is going to be a great season. I can already tell from the first half of the episode, but just primarily from the second half, I'm kind of a little bit let down. I was kind of really expecting something more, but then again, we can only wait and see, and I do hope that the next episode is going to be a lot more action-packed in its second half, and of course in both halves. But I just also want to highlight Lloyd's voice, because that is changed a lot, and we of course kind of get to hear him more in this episode, and it doesn't really affect me. Honestly, guys, if you're worried about Lloyd's voice change, doesn't matter. His voice dropped, you know, just the standard stuff. It really doesn't affect the experience of watching the show. The only thing that really affected me was just the writing. It wasn't as strong as it was in previous seasons, and the fact that they kind of just like dimmed it down a little bit, made it a little bit more childish. I hope this isn't really a recurring theme in the other episodes of the season, but of course we're gonna have to wait and see. But overall, yeah, 6 out of 10, 5.5 out of 10, maybe 5.75 as my official rating for the episode out of 10. It wasn't the best, it's not the greatest, but it's also not the worst. There have been way worse Ninjago episodes out there, guys, trust me. This pretty much concludes my review of episode 75, The Mask of Deception. Of course, feel free to let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section below, and of course, if you guys disagree or agree with my opinion. Yeah, that pretty much concludes today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, if you guys did, then please leave a like and subscribe for more LEGO Ninjago videos coming to you guys each and every day. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.